Hello and welcome to our roundup of the European Parliament's latest plenary session here in Strasbourg. Topping the agenda, good news for consumers and businesses alike as Parliament votes to end all EU mobile roaming charges from 2017 onwards. Meanwhile, Parliament has approved new measures to improve cross-border transparency and recover billions in lost EU corporate tax revenues. And acknowledging the refugee crisis' growing impact on the pending 2016 budget, Parliament went hunting for new EU sources of funding. But we begin our coverage with the EPP group-led triumph here to cut the cost of mobile phone usage by abolishing roaming charges. Under the Single Market Telecommunication Regulation, roaming charges are set to be abolished from June 2017, and from spring 2016 there will be a further big reduction in both data and voice prices. Pilar del Castillo, the EPP group member who led the negotiations on behalf of Parliament, claimed victory on behalf of citizen and business mobility.
Hemos conseguido que los objetivos que nos habíamos trazado desde el comienzo. Primero, la abolición de los sobrecostes a los que se enfrentan los consumidores al acceder a Internet y tratar de comunicarse por teléfono cuando se encuentran fuera de su país.
The changes come as part of a new set of rules for telecoms operators regarding net neutrality, that is, amounts of internet data, big or small, sent between 2 points, regardless of its content. It's a key part of the EU's strategy to create a digital single market. Del Castillo indicated the new rules were visionary and removed a huge barrier for the single market for 500 million Europeans.
Con este acuerdo, Europa será la única región del mundo que garantice mediante ley un Internet abierto y la neutralidad de la red.
Tax fraud and evasion annually costs EU member state governments dearly, yet little is seen being done by them to claw back lost revenue from corporate tax cheats. The EPP group drafted report, now enjoying parliamentary approval, says the time for greater transparency and faster cross-border tax information exchange is now. A recent OECD estimate speaks of a 5% loss in potential corporate tax revenue due to fraud, evasion, and other forms of profit shifting, or around €1 trillion annually. The EPP group says it does not want to harmonize tax rates, but to harmonize rules on what and where profits are taxed. Markus Ferber is the EPP group's spokesman in Parliament's Committee on Economic and Monetary Affairs.
Es ist heute zum ersten Mal, dass wir über konkrete Gesetzgebung nach der LuxLeaks-Affäre diskutieren. Und deswegen halte ich es schon für eine sehr wichtige Debatte, weil es darum geht, dass wir als Parlament hier ein klares Signal aussenden für Klarheit, für Transparenz, für fairen Steuerwettbewerb in der Europäischen Union.
Heavy criticism has been aimed at so-called sweetheart deals made between member states' tax authorities and multinational corporations shopping around for the lowest tax rates possible. Ferber said Parliament was ready to toughen up reporting standards. Parliament wants information on tax rulings exchanged immediately, not 3 months later as the Commission wants, or 6 months later as member states earlier agreed. The EPP group wants EU member states to end tax ruling practices that deny releasing information for commercial secrecy or other policy reasons. Ferber said that this amounts to illegal state aid and is anti-competitive.
Deswegen ist mein eindringlicher Appell an die Mitgliedstaaten, mit dem Europäischen Parlament hier in ernsthafte Verhandlungen einzutreten, um das Bestmögliche zu erreichen, nämlich dass wir im Bereich der Steuervorbescheide und der Steuerpreisabsprachen hier zu einem klaren, transparenten europäischen Modell kommen.
Those most often hurt are small and medium-sized companies that do not have the financial muscle or global reach to go shopping for better tax deals abroad. Trying to alleviate the worst European humanitarian crisis since World War II, Parliament sought additional sources of funding above and beyond its proposed 2016 budget to keep both refugees and Europe's strained borders safe and secure. Parliament is proposing budget increases of approximately €1.3 billion to improve security along Europe's external borders. Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker appealed to member states, Parliament, and the European Investment Bank to do more.
Réfléchir à des chemins et voies de financement supplémentaires dont nous avons besoin pour pouvoir faire face à la crise. À situation exceptionnelle, financement exceptionnel.
The EPP Group's spokesman on the budget talks is member José Manuel Fernandes. With the European Parliament recently approving more than €1 billion to address the refugee crisis, Fernandes said member states need to do their part.
Dans une perspective interne, on doit bien recevoir les réfugiés, mais dans une perspective aussi externe, on doit aller aux causes, on doit avoir une attitude de prévention pour éviter ce problème. C'est à cause de ça que les instruments pour la coopération, pour le développement, l'aide humanitaire doivent être présents dans une chose que j'appelle le paquet réfugiés.
EPP Group Chairman Manfred Weber was more blunt, looking ahead to the Valletta summit in Malta in November, when the EU will meet with key African countries to discuss migration and the refugee crisis.
We in the European Parliament, we have to create a platform for discussing these issues. And when the member states is not ready to deliver, then we have to say it publicly. We have to make clear where the problem is. And it is mainly on national level, where the people are making promises and are not delivering. And we have to stop this. Then Europe can act.
That's it from the Strasbourg plenary session. See you again next week from Brussels. And find out more about the largest force in Parliament by checking out eppgroup.eu. Thanks for looking in.